When people show you who they are, believe them the first time. When people show you who they are, believe them the first time. You hear me? A lot of us can't stay by ourselves, can't stay to ourselves. A lot of us don't got the patience to weed through the thoughts that we had. You hear me? Some of these thoughts be so loud and screaming at us, we gotta talk to other people, because it's a job like silence them thoughts, you hear me? And it's like, hold up. You need to pay attention to them thoughts. Dig what I'm saying? You need to see why you hear them thoughts, you hear me? You need to ask them thoughts where they come from, especially the ones that's jive negative, you hear me? You need to silence their ass. You need to say, man, I don't need to eat no goddamn noodles and rice, and that shit make me tired. You hear me? But when I ate the fruit, I was energized. I ain't get lethargic. Yeah, I wanted to do stuff. I remember one day I ain't eating nothing all day, probably for like 3 days, I think, at that time. And I wasn't drinking nothing but key lime water. Man, I went to play basketball. Man, I had like 30 points. You hear me? In a span of like 2-3 games, I had like 30 points. You hear me? And my man was like, bro, what's in that water you drinking? I'm like, I ain't think of it like that until he said something. I'm like, oh, you know what? You might be on to something. I might just got super energy. You hear me? But a lot of us, why don't a lot of us be comfortable with ourselves? And people gonna say, shoot, I'm comfortable with myself. You are? How much time you spend by yourself? Some of us gonna say, man, I ain't talked to nobody for like 3 months. I ain't talking to nobody for a year. Nah, I ain't talking about seriously talk to people. Did you entertain anybody? You entertain stuff for almost 3 years. I ain't talked to nobody seriously at all. I entertained somebody, but then I was blown that I entertained them because they showed me who they was. And I was like, damn, I could have just been kicking it by myself this whole time. But sometimes you need that hiccup. You need to go against your initial plan. Not saying plan to go against your initial plan. I'm saying when you find yourself going against your initial plan, sometimes that clarifies why you needed to stay to your initial plan. You hear me? Because some tests gonna pop up on you. You dig what I'm saying? Some tests gonna pop up on you. But the more and more alone time you got to yourself, the sharper you gonna be on them tests. Just like when you were alone, you was in school, and you had to study for tests, you had to go study by yourself. Yeah, you might study with a group, but when you study by yourself, it's a lot more effective. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like, when cause I make music or whatever, I write books, I started books, I could write, you hear me? I got a real visual brain, I can see stuff, and then I can go ahead and write it down. But anyway, what was I about to say? It wasn't until I really spent time by myself. Oh yeah, that's what I was about to say. There you go. I had recorded myself read a study guide, a study packet for barbering school. I recorded myself reading all the answers and all the questions, the mock state board exam. And I just listened to it like it was music. People thought I was listening to music. You hear me talking? I'm like, yeah, I hear you, bro. This ain't music, bro. I'm listening to my study guide. And when I went to go take the test, I only missed about 4 points. But that helped me a whole lot, instead of just sitting there reading it. I just listened to it all day long, and it helped me a whole lot. And it became a success. But what I'm saying is, how much time can you really take to yourself? If you like, man, when I go home, I be cooling by myself. Now I'm talking about at very extensive time. And some of it might not be intentionally, initially, you hear me? Like you might, like me, it wasn't intentionally the first time I really kicked it by myself. I was dealing with somebody that I thought was cool for me. But the whole time, it was little indications that, man, they not who they say they is. And every time I say something to them, they be like, you tripping. And I'm like, nah, I pay attention. I'm an observer. You hear me? So, and then it came out that they weren't who they said they was. If they was, then nothing would have changed. You hear me? But anyway, that pushed me to seclude myself even more, because I was already on the journey. I was already secluding myself because I was fighting for my princess. So I ain't really want to be around nobody. I ain't want to be around my homie. I ain't want to be around family. Me cutting hair, I gotta be around people. So that's I couldn't escape that part, because that was one of my incomes at the time. So, but when I became intentional with being by myself, I learned a whole lot more about myself. I paid attention to what I really want, and when I speak about something, what I'm talking about when I say want is a necessity. It's a difference between wants and necessity. You know what I'm saying? Some people, even me, I want a girl with I want a woman with a banging body, but I don't necessarily need a woman with a banging body. That's just a want. A need is somebody that's really comfortable in their body, that really love themselves. They don't need no makeup, and they don't need no hair, no weave. They don't need that. I'm not saying. Nah, I'm saying that's what that's what I want. Somebody that's natural. Yeah, I'm natural. I ain't gonna put no slight foundation on my face to cover up my acting. I'ma just work on my skin naturally. Yeah, and the only reason I'm breaking out now is cause I went like 7 months raw, reversed a whole lot of stuff that was within me, and then the test came. I went to the beach. They had salads and stuff, but I thought they was gonna have some little plant-based or vegan options. They ain't really had that. I ended up saying, you know what? Well, I ain't eat this in a while. I'm gonna just give me some veggie tacos, and then boom. Since like the beginning of September, I've been eating cooked food, veggie hibachi, noodles, rice, and all that. Man, and you see, got a little acne on my face now, but it's all good. When we take a break from the stimuli, meaning the comfort food that we grew up on, and we start to cleanse ourselves internally, all this stuff start going away. Energy start boosting. You hear me? But then when we jive, like we had little hiccups and we go back, then it hit us a lot harder. You hear me? Like, cause my face ain't really break out like this since I was a teenager though. It broke out periodically, but not like just, you hear me? Not like this though, you hear me? But it's cool, cause I'm not gonna speak on what I'm on right now, but I'm on it. Dig what I'm saying? It's already here. So I'm saying that to say, you don't really gotta be so much cool like ice. Are you? Yeah. You don't really gotta beat yourself up. You dig what I'm saying? There's no point of beating yourself up. We're gonna have some hiccups, especially along new paths, new journeys that we walk, that we put ourselves on, you hear me? But it's about what you do after you recognize you had a hiccup. But I suggest everybody focus on what you want, and what you want should really be a necessity. You know what I'm saying? Like, example be like, yeah, I want a woman, but what type of woman I need? I need a woman that in her conversation with her friends, they not in a group calling themselves a bunch of female dogs. Yes, bitch. Oh, you rocking that, bitch. Oh, that's my bitch. That's my bitch. Nah, why? Not a big old reason why I don't need that type of woman in her self-speech. I got 2 princesses. I don't need to go outside, cut the grass, and you on the phone with your girlfriend, and my princess in the house playing, and they over here and you on the phone, and y'all calling each other female dogs back and forth. Y'all don't mean no harm. That's just how y'all talk. Like even in when I have a son, I don't need my son to hear me around my man saying, man, set your ass up, Slim. Hey, so, man, shorty fat as a mug. You hear me? Man, yeah, I crushed that joint, bro. Man, she wasn't nothing, Slim. Her box was some trash. I don't need, my son ain't gonna hear me talk like that around him at all. I don't even talk like that no more at all, though. You hear me? Like, I'm not talking about what's supposed to be behind closed doors to my man, my brother. I might be like, man, she was cool. You hear me? But I ain't saying all that XYZ stuff. You hear me? I'm preparing myself. I'm already, words got power. I already prepared myself. You hear me? So the more, but it only, what I'm on only be more clearer the more that I be by myself, though. You hear me? I ain't on here like some of these people. They be recording videos like the people that be saying animal-based diet. I don't be on the internet like them just eating. I don't be in my everyday life faking like they be doing. You hear me? I ain't saying some of them don't feel good, because you will feel good initially sometimes. Like when I was in the streets and I was doing some crazy stuff, it felt good initially. But then the stuff it came with, I was like, whoa, man. What you mean I'm facing 30 years? Man, I just came home 10 months ago. And I'm back in a cell again. This time I'm facing 30 years to life. Oh my goodness. Nah, I ain't snitching. I'm not snitching, but goddamn, this shit real. You hear me? Yeah, that's not where you want to be at. So some of the people, they be bluffing, like some of these rappers and stuff. They be talking about all that stuff that they into, what they think they capable of, and the stuff they might have did or might have seen done. But when that stuff come on them, you see a lot of them in paperwork. You see a lot of them getting smacked out. You see a lot of them turning to junkies. You hear me? And it's like, that's not what it should be. You hear me? Because if it's supposed to be, then it's not gonna be a bumpy road. It's not gonna be a bumpy road like my face. But I'm cool. I love myself. You hear me? I don't be like this talking to people and stuff. I come as I am. You hear me? And I tell them, man, I just been eating how I know I ain't supposed to eat. But what I'm saying is, spend time with yourself. Utilize your energy on yourself. One of my brothers be like, I told you, bruh, I don't be spending no money when I go out. They be paying for me. They be inviting me. I don't even got to spend. They messing me so high. I say, yeah, you right. I say, but guess what? You spend a whole rack of your energy when you going out. You ain't spending no money. Money is energy too. But you spending your real money, your energy. You spending it. No matter how we look at it. Right now, I'm spending energy. Right now, I'm spending energy. And I'm speaking something that's not going to mislead people, but I'm still spending energy. You hear me? How many words we got left? How many breaths we got left? We spending energy. You hear me? So, but I needed that little bump in the road to make me go and be like, nah, hold up, man. They smile in your face. You hear me? That song, I needed that. I really thank you. I appreciate you, Miss Lady. You hear me? It's more than one Miss Lady. And I ain't talk about, I'm not going to get too detailed. Never let your left hand know what your right hand doing. The creator know everything. I don't need y'all to know everything. That don't mean I'm lying either. You hear me? It just mean, hey, man, get up out my bushes, man. You hear me? So it's like, to have my princesses, I had to go through some things. You hear me? To see how I see now, I was forced to go through some things. You hear me? And it's the things I went through, I wouldn't even put the other person through that. You hear me? I would never did it. But we would never been where we at now. Meaning, that person would never be able to see who I am now. And I always been me. You hear me? I wasn't faking the funk. None of that. I'm not getting on this. I'm not recording right now, talking to this screen. But then I go talk to my man, and I'm calling all these. I'm saying all these. Man, these bees ain't man, short. Man, I'm just gonna crush that junk right fast. Ooh. Nah, I'm not saying. My conversation don't be like that. Hey, my conversation, they be like, man, shorty on your line, man. I'm like, man, I been knew she was on my line, but man, I don't know, bro. I'm gonna kick it by myself for a while. I'm gonna see, man, I'm about to see me 100 bands or better, 100 bands and better, not or better. And then maybe when my princess is set, my mother set, my brothers set, I'm set. Me first, but me, since it's gonna be me first, all of them gonna benefit regardless, you hear me? So I'm on me right now. But along this journey, what that book say? He who finds a wife find a good thing. That don't really mean go out here and search. Stay on your path. On your path, you walk across somebody that's on their path, and it's like, all right, well, shit, let's join. We can walk on the same path together. But until then, it's like, oh, damn, she like that. Oh, she pretty as a mug. So I be in the gym, I be saying, I be like, God damn, Charlie. Oh, my God, I got to turn around. Yeah, they, man, especially in the gym, they don't got no makeup on. Somebody got real hair, whatever. You got the girls that come in the gym with the makeup and all that, and they body all out and about, you hear me? But it's like tunnel vision. And sometimes you gotta constantly remind yourself, hey man, what you want? What you want? It's easy to go over there. It's easy. It's easy, man. How you doing today? Ooh, it's easy to put a bug in a woman's ear. It's easy to jazz her up. She already hear this stuff all day long anyway. But what's more challenging is sticking to your word. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I stick to your word. I told myself, man, I don't want no woman for real till I reinvent myself. Now, if I bump into a woman while I'm reinventing myself, and she reinventing herself, ain't no bluffing from me, ain't no bluffing in her life, I ain't gonna knock it, you hear me? Because the creator might be like, hey man, you did a whole lot of work on yourself, now here you go. Now I want both of y'all to amplify each other, you hear me? So I'm not against it, but it's like, how much work did you do on yourself before we met? I ain't talking about starting your life right now, you hear me? My sister just walked past. I ain't talking about starting right now. I'm talking about how much work did you already do? You already did a lot? That's like that. And how much more? How much more? You gonna continue, or you gonna allow me to knock you off your square? I got my keys. Or you gonna allow me to knock you off your square? Man, we're on our path, but then I walked and I ran into somebody, and now instead of me going to the gym every other day, I'm taking her out. We gonna go grab something to eat. We gonna go do this, that, and the third. The whole time, this my day to go in the gym. You hear me? I ain't rocking with you. I ain't rocking with nobody else more than I'm rocking with myself. That can't happen. I can't even rock with my princesses more than I rock with myself. You hear me? I gotta rock with myself harder than I rock with anybody else. Because if we were supposed to rock with anybody else more than we rock with ourselves, then we will all be in one big old body. Now we all are creator's creation. So we all, we all in our creator's body, but we individual cells. You hear me? And hopefully you a red and white blood cell. You hear me? And hopefully you here for help and aid and not going against. You dig what I'm saying, man? And hopefully you here to help everybody be more who they are created to be. And I gotta roll out. Hopefully, spend some time with yourself. A lot of time. Till you get bored with yourself. And then when you get bored with yourself, man, find something to motivate you to spend more time with yourself. You hear me? For real. The more and more we spend, we ain't missing nothing. This is a journey through eternity. What you in a rush for? You gotta have a girl now. You gotta get a man now. I know some people that like, man, before I lock it down, man, I'm gonna go ahead and experience myself. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead out here. I'm trying to bust this, I'm trying to bust that before I lock it down. Man, you exerting a whole rock of energy doing that. You dig what I'm saying? The more and more we spend with ourselves, the more and more our path gonna become clearer. You hear me? Because with all these distractions, and they is distractions because we ain't fully who we was created to be yet. You hear me? A lot of us are working on it, but we ain't there solely yet. What's up, bro? We ain't there yet. You know what I'm saying? I got something in right now. Some of them don't even got their own place, but they got a girl. Or they chasing, they going out. What we doing tonight, man? Oh yeah, the girls all the way up, man. The girls, woo woo, man. The girls over here, man. The girls over there, man. Bop bop bop, man. Fire that weed up, man. What y'all got on the bottle, bruh? You ain't even got you right yet. You dig what I'm saying? And it's alright to go kick it and have a little fun. I ain't saying that you don't go do that, but I'm saying spend the majority of your time with yourself until everything become clearer. You dig what I'm saying? I have a great day on purpose, intentionally. You ask me how I am, I'ma tell you. Man, I'm grateful.